What's going on YouTube? Today we got NBA legends and players react to LeBron James calling himself the GOAT. Oh man. This was a cringy moment, a not GOAT-like moment from someone who's trying to work his way up to being the GOAT. You know, you can't be making these type of accusations, you can't be saying this type of stuff, man. But the last LeBron James reaction will be at the end of the video. Stay tuned for that. Tell me which one to react to next. Turn on post notifications. All links in the description, man. Without further introduction, let's get into it. LeBron, kill me.
Hey man, it's your boy YG aka Ngala. And remember when LeBron James called himself the GOAT after coming back down 3-1 against the 73
It was a tough comeback, bro.
That
but
shook the whole NBA world, especially Jordan fans. And I can see why they're mad, because LeBron James made a bold statement. But I can also understand why LeBron said that. Because think about this. If you came back down from 3-1 against a team that has the best record in NBA history, you'll be feeling the same way. But I agree that he should have kept that to himself. Because
that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. He definitely should have kept to himself. But you will be feeling very GOAT-like. But you gotta, he's been on the stage long enough, so you gotta know the moment. And to say that on the podcast, that means he had time to revise, rethink, like all that. So it's like, you're not supposed to say that, gang.
People to decide. But at the same time, I love that he said that, because you're not going to see an NBA legend step out to the public and say he's the greatest player of all time. So anyways, man, we're going to listen to NBA legends and players react to LeBron James calling himself the GOAT. But before we get straight into that, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for the culture so you won't be missing any of my videos. And let's get to the vid, man.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
For so many reasons.
I was super ecstatic to win one for Cleveland because of the 52-year drought. Like, I was ecstatic. Like, obviously, I showed that the first wave of emotion was when y'all, everyone saw me crying. Like, that was all for 52 years of everything in sports going on in Cleveland. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
People always debate it. Who's the greatest player of all time? Dumb question. It should be, who's the greatest team of all time? You know, there are so many teams to choose from. The 91 Chicago Bulls, sorry Showtime.
Tough.
The 92 Bulls, back-to-back. 93 Bulls, first three-peat. 97 Bulls, even with the flu. 98 Bulls, no push-off. And my favorite,
no
96 Chicago Bulls. 72 wins, tough to beat that. What? You think there's someone else? Prove it.
His career's not over. I'd just like to, why he's saying that, I don't know. Maybe he thinks that sells. Maybe he's taking the Donald Trump approach and trying to sell himself. I don't know, but time will tell. I think history. I don't even know if anybody knows who the greatest of all time is, because the years are so different.
Wow.
Follow that, Scottie Pippen.
That's a tough one to follow. I mean, that's Danny Ainge's opinion, right. And we all have our opinion. But my problem is more so with LeBron. If you are the greatest player, if people are saying you are the greatest player, or if people are saying Michael Jordan is the greatest player, why do you need to say it?
Right.
Michael Jordan has never, ever said he's the greatest player to ever play the game. Why? He's respected all the other players before him. So for LeBron to say that, he's sort of pulling himself out of it, because you can't say you're the greatest player. You have to allow your peers in the world to say that.
So the context of when he said it, just because, if we're having this discussion, he was sitting around with his friends, and he was saying that when he won that 2016 title, he said his first thought was Cleveland, wow, we've done this first time in 52 years. And he said, my second thought as I was, running around the court being crazy was, wow, I did it. This is what makes me the greatest player of all time. You can disagree with him, I get it, and you can disagree with him saying that. And by the way, that conversation was for a documentary that was supposed to appear on ESPN+, so he knew cameras were rolling. It's not like they caught him in a moment.
Well,
I think it's
pretty great that a guy won 3 titles, left for 2 years, came back and won 3 more. That is considered greatness to me.
Yeah.
Winning ultimately decides who the greatest players are in the game?
Well, as it turns out, back in 2009, the GOAT, Michael Jordan, was asked by our pal Michael
Scotty
Wilbon
got
about
on.
his place on the all-time list of NBA greatness. And here is what MJ had to say.
I don't want it in a sense because I think it disrespects Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, all the guys that prior to me, I never had a chance to play against. What everybody's saying I am, I never had the chance to compete against other legends that was prior to me. When I hear it, I cringe a little bit because, it's a little bit embarrassing because no one knows, I never had the chance once again to play against those guys.
I need one word answer, Chauncey. Greatest
Michael.
of all time. Greatest of all time, Jalen?
Airness.
Greatest of all
It's
time?
unanimous.
Okay, thank you very much. That being said, Jalen, I want to start with you.
Okay.
How do you feel about LeBron saying that about himself?
First and foremost, to me, LeBron officially passed Larry Bird and got into the top 5 when he won his final championship, his only championship in Cleveland. In my mind, he still has a way to go clearly to pass Michael Jordan, Bill Russell, 11 championships, 13 years, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
The captain.
And my heart just won't let him pass Magic just yet. I got to see a little bit more. And so that's where I'm going on this topic. I appreciate how he's bringing this up so millennials that only saw him play and continue to say he's the guy. But guys that's been around the game and young ladies, we've seen something else that's really special as well.
And that's the thing, my brothers and sisters. That's what y'all got to understand. And I feel like a lot of y'all don't understand that. Before this, I ain't seen no Jordan highlights like that. I probably seen the most famous ones, probably little clip. I couldn't even remember them, Probably from so long ago. I know everybody, all the kids probably younger than me, definitely don't, you know what I'm saying? They definitely have not seen no Michael Jordan highlights, bro. I'm telling you, like, it's just different time periods, man. That's why you had to come with that.
I agree with
dance,
everything
man.
you're saying, Jay.
I love it. No.
I love that he
he's saying
stepped
about
out there.
himself?
I love that
All
he
right.
stepped out there and said that. I don't remember any other player ever coming out and saying I'm the greatest of all time. I've never
That's
seen that
crazy.
before. I love that he's done that.
But you like that?
He's
I don't
on
like
the Mount
that.
Rushmore, in my opinion. But
I don't like he did that.
I can't put him at the top.
That's
There's
fair.
no
That's
there's
fair.
no way I can put him at the top. And at the end of the day, and he talked about this, that win, beating that team, made him the greatest of all time. Maybe if he would have hit that shot that Kyrie hit,
I mean, that is a
I
part
could
of the
see
narrative.
him maybe saying that. But I can't go there. I'm sorry.
You know what? We should turn to our resident self-promoter.
Before Paul.
Nah, yeah, if you would have hit that Kyrie shot, that would have been
all the
different.
great players like Jalen said,
either
Kareem,
way, you
none
still
of them
shouldn't have
has
said
never
that.
come out and said, I'm the GOAT. That's something up to like the fans, the writers, and former players. So when they come out with these ESPN rankings and all these other rankings, let that be the judge, I think. But the self-proclaiming, he's definitely up there. He's definitely top 5 in my book. But I think when you look at the accolades, the championships, I mean, Jordan, Magic, Kareem, they're all up there.
I've never heard one of the greatest say they were the greatest of all time. That was very interesting to me. Kevin, what are your thoughts?
Oof, man, you know what? It's one thing. We all sit at this table all the time and sing his praises.
Yeah.
I think LeBron is a great player.
Yeah.
I just think that's disrespectful, honestly, to Bill Russell. What did Bill Russell do? Won every time. He said, all right, fellas, you want to win? Come with me. We'll go on the floor. That's what this game's all about. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he was
Michael
greatest on
Jordan.
time, all levels, though, Kareem. The best in high school, the best in college, and the best in the pros at
That's
one
what
time.
I'm saying. Michael. I mean, there's just so many. Two of my good, Larry and Magic. I mean, just led teams and turned the league around. You don't need to say that about yourself. Let other people say that for you. I mean, I was kind of surprised because I had read about it. But that's the first time I had actually heard him say it. Made me the GOAT. I'm like, damn.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I love the kid. I think he's a great player. I think he's been great for the game. But let other people say that for you. To me, it's just disrespectful for a lot of people that came before you that were great players. And you said it to begin with, Chris. You can't compare eras and all that stuff. All these guys have been so great in their era. I didn't like the way that sounded sounded to me. Just didn't like it.
You know, and everybody knows I love LeBron, but I'm gonna call timeout on this one because and I'll speak definitely to LeBron, or I'll say it to his face. But you never. There's a certain thing about greatness that demands that you have humility with greatness. Now, I've never heard, even though we argue about Michael Jordan being the greatest of all time, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar being the greatest of all time, LeBron James being the greatest of all time, we have those arguments in debate. I have never heard Michael Jordan say he's the greatest of all time. Yeah. Even though he may think that, even though Kareem may think that, right? You just don't come out and say that. Now, in this era, you know, maybe it's okay for people to come out and say that. All I know, if I was in the league right now and you talking about you the greatest of all time, dude, I'm getting ready to do you. I'm coming at you. Like, and you may be, but to say that is just totally disrespectful to me as one of your competitors, as one of your teammates, as someone in your generation right now. It's just, you don't come out and say that. So with greatness, there's a certain amount of humility that goes with that. Now, somebody will probably come back and say, well, Muhammad Ali said I'm the greatest, but that was a single man sport.
Yeah, individual sport.
That was an individual sport. Yeah. Tiger Woods can make the argument he's the greatest because it's single. Yeah. But when you saying, and by the way, Muhammad Ali was saying he the greatest because, you know, he was getting in the ring and he knocked you out.
Right.
You know? But, you know, to be able to take that stand and to take that position in this day and age, in a team sport, you should have some humility that goes in.
Jalen Rose, we've been away on break for a little bit. I've been dying to hear what you think about this. LeBron James claiming that he is the greatest of all time because he brought Cleveland a championship over the Warriors. What do you think about LeBron saying this?
It's a phenomenal feat what the Cleveland Cavaliers were able to accomplish that season in beating a 73-win Golden State Warriors team. If that doesn't happen, probably changes the trajectory of what we see that has taken place over the last 2 years, because I don't think Kevin Durant joins that team. And so, however, your single greatest achievement doesn't make you the greatest basketball player of all time. Now, what ends up happening is, and LeBron James is genius at doing this, he's creating a narrative of recency bias. It's almost like if you ask millennials right now, who's the greatest rap group of all time? Migos. You're gonna get a lot of people saying the Migos, because they haven't been necessarily exposed to Wu-Tang Clan, Outkast, NWA, Tribe Called Quest. So LeBron James understands when he says this, it allows the fans to quietly leapfrog him over Tim Duncan and Kobe. I gave him credit for passing Larry Bird as the greatest small forward of all time when that feat happened, which was a tall task for me. But my Mount Rushmore is pretty much still intact. MJ, 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 6 championships, 6 MVPs, the NBA's all-time leading scorer. Bill Russell, 11 championships in 13 years. And Irvin Magic Johnson, 5 championships. That's my Mount Rushmore. To me, LeBron's individual achievements have not eclipsed what those gentlemen have accomplished.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and tell me who is your GOAT and why.
Let me know the same thing, man. But if y'all enjoyed this LeBron James reaction, make sure you click on the last LeBron James reaction on your screen right now. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, man. Make sure you like the video, comment, and subscribe. Tell me which one to react to next. Turn on post notifications. Links is in the description. And I'm out of here, man.